If you're over 65, you've probably heard people say that the best years are behind you. But what if everything you've been told about aging is wrong? What if your body is actually capable of thriving well into your 90s and beyond, and the only thing holding you back is how you spend your first hour each morning? Medical researchers have been studying what separates those who age gracefully from those who decline rapidly, and they've found something remarkable. The difference often isn't genetics or expensive treatments. It's the simple actions people take right after they wake up. Your morning routine sends powerful signals to every cell in your body, determining whether those cells will repair and regenerate or slowly deteriorate. Today, I want to share with you 5 evidence-based morning practices that health researchers have linked to significantly longer, healthier lives. These aren't complicated medical procedures or expensive supplements. They're straightforward habits that anyone can start tomorrow. And if you stick around to the end, I'll reveal the one practice that scientists say directly influences your cellular aging process at the DNA level. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment telling me your age and where you're watching from. I read every single comment and would love to connect with you. Let me ask you something. What's the first thing you put in your body when you wake up? If it's coffee, you might want to reconsider. Your body has been fasting for 7 to 9 hours, and during that time, you've lost significant water through breathing and perspiration. When you wake up, your blood has become more viscous, making your cardiovascular system work much harder than it needs to. Health researchers examining thousands of older adults discovered something striking. Those who made it a habit to drink a substantial amount of water immediately upon waking had notably lower rates of cardiovascular incidents. The explanation is straightforward. Water rapidly reduces blood viscosity, allowing your heart to pump more efficiently and reducing strain on your entire circulatory system. Most people reach for coffee first thing, which actually works against your body. Caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it promotes water loss rather than hydration. It also triggers a stress hormone response precisely when your body is trying to transition into its active state naturally. The temperature of your water matters too. Room temperature water is absorbed more quickly than cold water because your body doesn't need to expend energy warming it to body temperature first. This means faster hydration and quicker activation of your organ systems. One woman I know used to experience dizziness every morning. Her physician explained that inadequate hydration was affecting blood flow to her brain. After 3 weeks of drinking water first thing each morning, her symptoms completely resolved. Here's something most people don't realize. As we age, our sensation of thirst becomes less reliable. By the time you actually feel thirsty, you're already experiencing significant dehydration. Making morning hydration a non-negotiable habit removes this problem entirely. The timing is important. Drink your water at least 30 minutes before eating to allow for complete absorption and to avoid interfering with your digestive processes during breakfast. This next practice costs nothing and takes just 10 minutes, yet it has profound effects on your biological rhythms. Getting direct natural light on your face shortly after waking helps reset your internal clock in ways that artificial lighting simply cannot replicate. Your eyes contain specialized cells that don't contribute to vision, but instead communicate directly with the part of your brain that regulates your hormonal cycles. When morning light activates these cells, it triggers an immediate hormonal shift that helps your body properly transition from sleep mode to active mode. Studies examining older adults found that those who consistently got morning light exposure had substantially better sleep quality at night, lower rates of mood disturbances, and something even more remarkable. Their cellular aging markers suggested they were biologically younger than people of the same chronological age who avoided morning light. Without this morning light signal, your internal clock gradually drifts later and later. This is why many older adults find themselves wide awake in the middle of the night and exhausted in the afternoon. This disrupted pattern doesn't just affect sleep, it accelerates cognitive decline and increases the risk of serious health conditions. Natural morning light is exponentially more powerful than indoor lighting at setting your biological rhythms. Even on overcast days, outdoor light is far more effective than the brightest indoor bulbs. One gentleman I spoke with mentioned that his persistent afternoon fatigue vanished after his wife began opening their bedroom curtains immediately each morning instead of keeping them closed until midday. The window for maximum benefit is limited. Light exposure after mid-morning doesn't produce the same biological response because your hormone cycles have already been set for the day. If you truly cannot get outside, at least open a window, as glass filters certain wavelengths your brain needs. After age 60, your body begins losing muscle mass at an accelerating rate. This loss isn't just about strength or appearance. Muscle loss is directly connected to increased fall risk, reduced mobility, and ultimately, shortened lifespan. Researchers studying thousands of older adults discovered something crucial. Those who consumed adequate protein early in the day maintained significantly more muscle mass than those who ate most of their protein at dinner. The explanation relates to when your body is most capable of building and repairing muscle tissue. Your digestive system is actually strongest in the morning after overnight fasting, meaning you process and absorb protein more efficiently at breakfast than at any other time of day. Most people over 65 consume inadequate protein at breakfast, typically just grain-based foods that provide minimal amino acids. This signals your body to break down existing muscle tissue to obtain the amino acids it needs for essential functions. The type of protein matters significantly. Complete proteins containing all essential amino acids, found in foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, and fish, trigger much more robust muscle building than incomplete proteins from grain sources alone. One woman's physician was surprised when her bone density scans showed improvement after she began eating eggs every morning. Protein doesn't just build muscle, it also strengthens the bone structure that prevents fractures. There's a threshold effect with protein consumption. Research suggests that consuming less than a certain amount doesn't trigger sufficient muscle building to counteract age-related breakdown. However, your aging body also has limits on how much it can effectively process in a single meal. Timing is crucial. Waiting too long after waking means missing your body's optimal window when growth hormones are naturally elevated and your muscles are most receptive. This practice takes just 60 seconds but could literally save your life. Falls are catastrophically dangerous after 65. A single fall dramatically increases mortality risk within the following year. Medical researchers discovered that older adults who performed simple balance exercises each morning had remarkably lower rates of serious falls. But they found something even more extraordinary. These balance exercises actually triggered the growth of new brain tissue in regions that typically shrink with age. Your balance system is complex, involving your vision, inner ear, and something called proprioception, which is your body's sense of where it is in space. These systems must coordinate perfectly, and without regular practice, they stop communicating effectively. This is why someone can go from walking normally to suddenly falling without warning. One study found that people who couldn't stand on one leg for just 10 seconds had dramatically elevated risk of serious health events in the following years. This simple test proved more predictive than traditional health markers. Balance exercises performed in the morning are significantly more effective than those done later because your balance system resets during sleep and is most adaptable to training immediately after waking. One man thought his unsteadiness was inevitable aging until he began morning balance work. Within weeks, he could navigate uneven surfaces without conscious effort. At the cellular level, balance training triggers the release of compounds that stimulate new neuron growth and protect existing neurons from age-related deterioration. Starting is simple. Stand near a stable surface for safety. Lift one foot slightly off the ground. Hold for 10 seconds, then switch legs. Gradually increase duration as you improve. Adding gentle head turns while balancing multiplies the benefit by forcing your visual and vestibular systems to work harder, strengthening the exact reflexes that prevent falls during normal activities. Improvements happen quickly. Most people see measurable progress within a week, with brain imaging showing increased activity in balance-related regions after just 2 weeks. This final practice is perhaps the most powerful of all. A specific breathing pattern performed immediately after waking can fundamentally change how your cells age. The technique is simple. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. 10 repetitions of this pattern trigger your nervous system to shift from stress mode to repair mode, essentially switching on your body's healing processes. Researchers studying cellular aging discovered that this breathing pattern increases activity of an enzyme that rebuilds the protective structures on your chromosomes that determine how long you live and how well you age. Here's what many people don't realize. Most older adults breathe shallowly, using only the upper portion of their lungs. This means getting far less oxygen than your body needs, slowly depriving your organs and accelerating aging in every cell. The controlled breathing pattern forces oxygen deep into your lungs where the most efficient gas exchange occurs, substantially increasing oxygen delivery to your bloodstream. The extended exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system so powerfully that it produces measurable reductions in blood pressure, inflammation markers, and stress hormones for hours afterward. One woman's cardiologist was preparing to increase her blood pressure medication when she began morning breathing exercises. Within 3 weeks, her numbers improved so much he reduced her medications instead. The 7-second hold allows maximum oxygen absorption, while the 8-second exhale ensures complete removal of carbon dioxide, preventing acidic buildup that damages tissues and accelerates aging. Your lung capacity naturally declines with age, but this breathing technique can restore much of that lost function by reactivating dormant portions of your lungs and improving tissue elasticity. The timing is critical. Performing this breathing immediately upon waking, before stress hormones can flood your system, establishes a calm baseline for your entire day and prevents cascading inflammatory responses. Scientists found that people who practiced this breathing pattern every morning had substantially lower rates of cardiovascular events and cognitive decline. Remarkably, their cells showed biological markers suggesting they were years younger than their chronological age. The technique also stimulates production of a molecule that dilates blood vessels, improves circulation, and enhances nutrient delivery while removing waste products that accumulate overnight. Your breathing pattern directly controls something called heart rate variability, the variation in time between heartbeats, which is among the strongest predictors of longevity. Morning breathing exercises can substantially improve this measure. These 5 practices work together synergistically. The water prepares your cells for optimal function. The sunlight synchronizes your hormones. The protein rebuilds your tissues. The balance training rewires your brain. And the breathing reverses cellular aging while activating repair processes. You don't need to implement all 5 tomorrow. Start with one practice. Add another each week. Within a few weeks, you'll have established a morning routine that fundamentally changes how your body ages. The decision you make tomorrow morning isn't just about one day. It's about whether you'll be thriving in your 80s or merely surviving. Whether you'll be actively engaged with life or limited by preventable decline. Whether you'll be creating new memories or struggling with the ones you have. Your future self depends on the choices you make starting right now. And now you have the scientific framework to give yourself the gift of many more healthy, vibrant years. If you found this valuable, please let me know in the comments. What morning practice are you going to start with? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.